You may not be familiar with Taoist philosophy, but you are likely familiar at least with its main symbol, yin and yang, the Tao. Order and chaos in constant conflict. One cannot exist without the other. This is the fundamentals of the Tao. Today, I want to discuss Dark Souls and what it can teach us about Taoism. You may already be drawing connections, light versus dark, while one cannot exist without the other. In Dark Souls' opening cutscene, we see the eternal age of dragons, a place before time, outside of time and space itself. But fire lights bring about life and souls. But the beginning of fire and life also marks the beginning of darkness and death. They are intertwined. Fire simply cannot exist without darkness. Plato had similar theories about opposites being core to existence. Cold can't exist without heat, tall can't exist without short, satiation can't exist without desire. This is all similar foundationally to the teachings of Taoism. Conflict is necessary for anything to exist, and therefore must be accepted rather than fought against. Unity can only be found in some sort of conflict. But when getting into specifics, Dark Souls lore veers off from Taoism quite a bit. For instance, Dark Souls focuses on the conflict of fire versus darkness, existence versus entropy, rather than merely order and chaos. In Dark Souls, chaos is merely an altered or corrupted form of the flame, anarchic souls who rebel against order and nature. The game's lore can be used for all kinds of comparison and philosophical analysis, and I plan to do that in coming videos. But when it comes to Taoism, the best place to look is Dark Souls gameplay. Tell me if this sounds familiar. You fought a boss many times, again and again, ramming your head into this wall. Dark Souls offers you many ways to give yourself an edge in combat, boosting your character level, improving your weapons, using specific abilities or items. While all of this is extremely important and is what makes Dark Souls what it is, there's a reason people can beat Dark Souls using the worst items in the game, and a reason this challenge is so popular amongst fans. Because once you step into that fight, once the action begins, all that matters, really, is flow. Anyone who's beaten a Dark Souls game can tell you about a specific moment when fighting a boss. Something just clicked all of a sudden. You enter a state where your character becomes an extension of you. Each dodge roll, attack, and parry is done as naturally as moving your own arm. The mind, the body, and this extension of yourself, your character in Dark Souls, all become one. All the anxieties and worries fade away, pulling all your focus into this fight, this moment of pure flow. Taoism calls this acting without acting. Nowadays, people like the term flow state. Where Western ideas like Platonism and analytical philosophy see the realm of logic as that which brings us to the divine and eternal, Taoism, by contrast, posits that all this thinking, planning, etc., this is what pulls us away from the divine. The Taoists see the flow state as walking with eternity, or being in congruence with nature. The true master of Dark Souls doesn't need a good build, or weapons, or any plan. The true master of Dark Souls is one who lends himself entirely to the flow, and walks with the Tao.